The U.S. National Guard was just ambushed. They were attacked. And this is something that we are now hearing is going to happen over and over and over. Let me just show you a little glimpse of it. This is exactly what we are worried about. That people are going to ambush us. They're going to invade the United States even more so than they have done already. Experts believe that this is going to happen at just enormous levels. We're going to see this happen all over the U.S. southern border, and it could even come to the northern border of the United States. So I'm going to break down what happened today, how our U.S. National Guard was pretty much knocked over, and they were powerless. They could not do a single thing. So we will address that in today's video. Going to talk about what Governor Greg Abbott of Texas just said and what Mexico is warning the United States of. So make sure you stick around for this entire video and I'll explain exactly what is going on. But all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So this is highly concerning because we now know illegal immigrants have stormed the U.S. border in El Paso. They've knocked over our National Guards amid a standoff because of Texas law. But I want to read you this. It says the state's anti-illegal immigration law is currently on hold. But according to experts, they say that with Texas's anti-illegal immigration law on hold, more migrants are expected to enter the United States, and they will get into the United States no matter what. This is the problem. We are about to see our U.S. southern border pretty much do nothing because the National Guard cannot do anything. If you look at these videos, and I'm going to show you one more, and we're going to play this in just a moment, but when you watch this, look how powerless our National Guard is. Because they are not, even though they're holding rifles, they're not firing them, which makes sense. You would take the life of, pretty much an innocent person. Even though they're entering the United States illegally, still, they're considered an innocent person. Now, what else could we do? Well, just take a look at this, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. This is about what we're going to see over and over and over again. According to experts, they also say, as we get closer to the November 5th election, we are going to see more people rush the U.S. southern border because they have no other option. Their hope is to get into the United States, scatter around before a possible change to U.S. leadership. That's what we're hearing. But guess what? Other governors are not standing pat. They're going to do something about it. What we now know is Governor Sanders. This is Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders from Arkansas. She is going to be sending National Guard troops to the U.S. border with Mexico. Why? Because she knows we have to have more security. Let me read you her statement. She says, President Biden opened our southern border to an invasion of illegal immigrants, drugs, and human trafficking, and is now criticizing Texas for stepping up where his administration has failed. I've seen the crisis our president created firsthand, and I know the incredible men and women of the Arkansas Guard can help supplement Texas's efforts to keep our border secure and our state safe. Here's the concern. If you are a surrounding state to Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, even New York and Illinois, and I'll throw Denver in there as well. If you are a surrounding state to any of those, you are put in potentially harm's way. But I want to read you something just a second. This is what Governor Greg Abbott had to say, but I want to play you one other clip. This clip is actually from the opposite side. Okay? So I just played you this clip here, okay, where people were rushing the border. But I want to play you one other clip, and this other clip is from the opposite side. Just look at this, okay? Look at all the people attempting to get into the United States. So you can see right here, hundreds of migrants were pushed south of the concertina wire in the middle of the night by Texas National Guard. Hours later, they again breached the concertina and made a rush for the border wall in El Paso, Texas. That was from a post out of X. Now, I want to read you one other thing from Governor Greg Abbott, because what's happening right now is we are about to see more razor wire. We are about to see more National Guard troops hit the U.S. southern border. Just look at this. Okay, I'll read this to you. This is from the Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He says, about the surge of illegal immigrants in El Paso, the Texas National Guard and Department of Public Safety quickly regained control and are redoubling the razor wire barriers. DPS, that's the Department of Public Safety, is instructed to arrest every illegal immigrant involved for criminal trespass and destruction of property. That is exactly what he said just today. Now, here's the concern. It has to do with Mexico. Mexico would not accept deportations from Texas, calls their law dehumanizing. However, they're warning the United States. Mexico warns the U.S. court of substantial tensions if controversial Texas immigration law takes effect. This is the concern that we are now facing. This is the problem. Mexico is going to go against Texas. They're side by side. They're right next to each other. They share a border. But Texas wants to send people back to Mexico. Mexico says, if you do this, this is dehumanizing and we will not accept these people. We would not accept them. And so sending them down there would actually be against what Mexico wants. Well, here's the problem. What does the Biden administration do? What does the Supreme Court decide? Because what Mexico wants and what Mexico is threatening doesn't have really any bearing on what the Supreme Court is willing to do. That's part of the issue. But at the same time, this is what experts are concerned with, is that our National Guard troops are going to be ambushed again. This was in the middle of the day. What happens when this is at night and National Guard troops cannot see exactly how big these migrant surges are? This one was just about 100 people. Based off what we're hearing, this is just about 100 people. That's it. This was not, 10,000 people entering one port. Actually, this isn't even a port. This is between ports. What happens when this turns into a daily occurrence? Because what we continue to hear is people are going to enter into the United States right now because of two reasons. One, they're doing so before Texas actually sees this law change. The second reason why is because if the former President Donald Trump does regain control and he gets the presidency, the problem then would be they are going to have a much tougher time entering into the United States. So all I can tell you right now is if you know anybody down at the U.S. southern border, and it could be any one of those cities along the border, it could be in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, or even California, just expect more people are about to hit the border because they know time is running out. So all I can tell you right now is things are going to get very interesting. The only concern, though, that I have is how many states are going to start sending more National Guard troops to the U.S. southern border. And as we do that, how is the federal government going to react? What are they going to do? What's the Biden administration going to do? And is this potentially going to cause that civil war between the U.S. National Guard and Republican states versus the federal government? Well, we're going to find out very soon because, again, this is ramping up very quickly. So one thing I can promise you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.